Hello there and welcome to the Lagos Transportation Agenda, the show where we highlight current events, discuss topical issues, as well as showcase emerging trends in the dynamic and multifaceted world of transportation. My name is Austin Inyan. Oftentimes when we talk about safety, security, whether on our roads or elsewhere, we sometimes neglect the most vulnerable members of our society, talking our children. Children as commuters, children as pedestrians, children in school and other spaces. How to make those spaces safe for them. That's the topic of our discussion on this edition of the show. And to discuss this with me is a noted safety and security expert in the person of Mr. Simon Albert Lord Wilson. Mr. Lord Wilson is the convener of the Safe Kids Initiative, a child safety and security concept. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Simon Albert Lord Wilson and I will be discussing the issue of safety and security for our children, both on our roads and other safe spaces, when the Lagos Transportation Agenda returns after this time out. Please stay with us. Welcome back on the Lagos Transportation Agenda. I'm Mr. S.A. Lord Wilson, as he prefers to be called, on the show. He's on the show with me as my guest. Mr. Lord Wilson, when we talk about safety and security, not just as it affects children, but as it affects all members of society, what do we really mean to be safety and security conscious?
Consciousness, to start with, you see, that word consciousness is your ability to stay at alert, alive at all time.
Yeah.
So consciousness, they say you must apply to safety and security. Now, let's leave security aside. Let's go to safety proper.
Yeah.
You see, if you are safety conscious, as the word implies, simply means you have safety in your head. You have safety in your thoughts. You have safety in your mouth. You have safety in your legs. You have safety in your hands. As a teacher of children, we tell children, safety starts with you. And it starts in your head.
Yes.
So if you close your eyes, your head is there. As long as your head is there, you must think safety. So it's a thing of general consciousness at all time. Thank you.
Okay, let's zero in on children. You have actually alluded to the fact that you are a teacher of children. So you know their psychological makeup. You are very conversant with their emotional makeup and so on. Now, we are a transportation related program. So we talk about children commuting in vehicles, on their way to school, on their way back from school and so on. They are also pedestrians on the road. What does it mean for a child or to be safety conscious? Let's start with a child as a commuter in a vehicle.
You see, thank you very much. Safe Kids Initiative, if you go to our page, our blog page, our slogan is inculcating safety culture into the Nigerian child.
Yes.
You see, we chose this because our daddies and mommies are failed as long as safety is concerned. And we, the children, are the ones that fall victim of the errors committed by the adults. Children don't drive.
Exactly.
No, children don't drive. You know, children only ride bicycle, and the bicycle children they ride them within the comfort of their environment.
Yes.
So why do they fall victim of road menace? One. Two, see, the greatest problem I keep talking about from time to time is the fact that the Nigerian child is not respected. The Nigerian child is not respected, and that is why we don't consider the child. The common Nigerian person doesn't consider the child. At this point, this is, let's say, the peak time when children are supposed to be on the road.
Yes.
If you see how people drive at this point, you pity the Nigerian child. Some fathers drive as if they don't have children at home. And when you slam on your brake for some children to cross, people begin to horn from the back and like, are you okay? Why are you stopping? Reason being that we don't have concern for our children. We don't have we said these children are leaders of tomorrow. We have destroyed the tomorrow. I want to destroy the child before the tomorrow. Yes. There's a time we had a program in Lagos.
Yes.
Red card.
Yes.
Then when Jonas Agu was the sector commander, Lagos sector commander RS21. Then we did red flag. And red flag simply means you have a red card in your car. When somebody drives wrongly, you turn it on for a person to look at it. There's a time we were driving and I asked you, I said, Oga, how many persons after driving rough we turn and look at you? He said, let's try it. And we drove between Ojota and Bega. When they drive rough, they look straight. When they drive rough, they look straight. Our problem is this. We are not safety conscious. You see, most of it, let me tell you, tell 10 persons, why do you wear seatbelts? They'll say because of road safety.
Yes, exactly.
We are not safety conscious. So we don't want these children to inherit the errors of the fathers. And that is why we need to keep teaching them what safety is. And that's why we have road safety club in schools.
Yes, wonderful.
Let's say another error. When you do manifesto in commercial vehicles, in the manifesto, they put names of adults.
Yes.
Is there any column for children?
No.
If the accident happens, there was a time we did a rescue around Shagam. When the woman regained consciousness in the hospital, she now said, "Oh, Momida." But went to the manifesto. Went to the manifest. We checked the manifest. We got the manifest correct in our own thinking. Yes. But the child, that is a baby, was not written in the manifest, but the child was transported in this vehicle. Are you telling me that the Nigerian child doesn't have life?
Exactly.
Are you telling me the Nigerian child should not be considered? So that is where we are in this country. Thank you. Okay,
we have talked about the child as a commuter. How about the child as a pedestrian?
Now, everybody that uses the road is a pedestrian. I say this because whether you are driving or walking, you have to walk before you drive.
Yes.
So, until all of us need to begin to see ourselves as pedestrians, whether we're in the comfort of our cars or we're trekking as the real pedestrian should be, we're all pedestrians because we're part of the structure that make up the environment of the road.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So while I'm driving, if I see myself as a pedestrian, I'll look out for a pedestrian.
Yes.
So in the process of looking out for pedestrian, I'll identify the child. I tell you this, a child is a child. Most often I tell my wife, she expects too much from the child. I say, look, allow these children to be children. Yes, allow these children to be children. They are children. So when you drive, you consider the child. It's a concept that we must follow. When you drive, at every time, you consider the child. I told my wife something one day. I said, look, in the morning, when I'm driving in the morning, I don't drive based on the concept of the type of car I drive. I drive based on the concept of the fact that this morning, any child can run into the road.
Yes.
So you reduce your speed,
exactly.
Identify places where, schools are clustered around this place. Yes. Identify the side that this part of this side, children are going. Look out for mothers who are carrying their children to school or working with children. Our mothers will take the child, put the child on the danger zone, and be on the safe zone. You know what the danger zone is? They put the child on the road and hold the child. They feel they have protected the child around. Yes. While they're on this side of the road. And I begin to tell, sometimes I stop and tell, Mama, calm down. You have chopped enough Christmas to die. Don't put this child at this risk. Put the child here so that you can protect the child. Exactly. Let the child be on the walk side. Let's call it the walk side, because most times people don't understand the structures or the furniture, the name for the furnitures of the road, like the pavements. People don't care. So put the child on the walk side. You stay by the road so that you can protect the child. And at most times, let parents holding children face coming traffic.
Exactly.
Instead of backing traffic.
Yes.
So these are important. See, children as pedestrians are vulnerable.
Very, very.
So it's still down on us as adults to watch out for children at any time, because children must be children. They are not adults, and don't expect them to be like adults. You should watch out for them. Stop for them when there is need. In short, sometimes I have to stop at the center of the road, turn on the hazard light, and we come down from the vehicle to help them cross, because the other guy coming from your back might try to overtake you. You are trying to help the child will see you as a cover. We cross the other lane, we hit the child. So we will not. Let's take time. Let's love the Nigerian child. Let's appreciate the Nigerian child. Let's give them hope by helping them to stay alive through watching out for them as pedestrians. Not just pedestrians, minor pedestrians. Thank you very much.
We'll be continuing our discussion with Mr. Simon Albert Wilson when this program returns. Please stay with us.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road interventions to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Okokomaiko to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and LAMATA is driving it. LAMATA, keeping Lagos moving.
Welcome back. If you're joining us, is the Lagos Transportation Agenda, and we are discussing safety consciousness and security consciousness as it pertains to children, how to inculcate it in them and those who look out for them. Mr. Lord Wilson, as I said before the break, we're going to set agenda at this point. Let's start with the role that government has to, because we can't discuss some of, you talked about the furniture of transportation of the road and so on, and how it pertains to safety and security. What role for government? What are the low-hanging fruits that government should begin to pluck as far as safety and security consciousness is concerned?
You see, the government make the laws.
Yes.
And we want to play with the government in making this law. Please consider the children. If you let me give you, we're in Lagos. I'll give an example of a route in Lagos. Isheri Road, Ogunusi, Ogunusi Road, Ojodubega to Ogba. Since the accident that claimed the life of some children, students and pupils of the grammar school, I expected that the government would have extended that road off, cone the edge of the road, that is a public school, cone the edge of the road, raise it up, so that children will be forced to walk on that side off to a place they can fall into the main Aino streets or get to road safety and all that. Then the children will be forced not to be able to climb the curb and cross the road.
Exactly.
Or better still, mount a speed breaker with pedestrian crossing. You see, now, let's go to government. You see, government denies the fact that we are not civilized. They feel we are civilized. We are still not civilized. Now, you cannot create a zebra crossing in a place where children cross without a speed breaker.
Exactly.
The common downfall doesn't know what zebra crossing is. Just a painting that makes the road fine. Yes. So for you to enforce some things and help it out, put a speed breaker, a high speed breaker, to put the zebra crossing in between, just at that point. You see, no matter how silly you may be, you will slow down to manage to use your car. At that point of slowing down, you will see the children, except you lack conscience.
Exactly.
Now, if this our furnitures, let's create furnitures that can meet up with the standard of our literacy in our environment. Remember, we did a walk one time with Bello, Korede Bello, to the House of Assembly. What were we asking for that time? Help us enforce that any child below the age of 13 should stay behind the vehicle. And use seatbelt or strap. Then we use a Bolanle strap and save.
Yes, Mrs. Edwards.
Mrs. Edward, you know, strap these children rightly in the vehicle. Now, in policy making is the only part we need the government.
Yeah.
The government should do the right policies that concern children and consider children in road infrastructure. Thank you.
Okay, so you've touched again a bit on the civic society. I know you've mentioned one or two colleagues in the struggle to ensure sanity, like Mrs. Edwards and her strap and save. As a group, is there more you can do as civil society?
We're doing so much, even though we are not getting the support. Where is the support coming from? You go to companies, you tell them, I want to do XYZ. They say, beautiful idea. They'll say, who are your audience? We say, children.
They are not
what are we in to gain?
Audience.
What are we in to gain? What are we in to gain? Now, what do you have as a person? You get that the little you have because you have passion for children, you put it into it. So you cannot do much. You can't do the little you have. We still remember the time of Fashola and Commissioner for Transport, Okpaifa. Yeah, we did our best then because the government was available for us. You don't need to book an appointment to get to the office. You have to do with children. You see the commissioner come around to work with children, dine with them, everybody laugh. So you see, it encourages us. If individuals, we have some little companies anyway who will give you products anyway, not that they don't really, companies that will give you products, to give you biscuits and give you Indomie, whatever, and all that. Amen. We want them to do more. If they can do more, we are not backward. It's just that we need encouragement. It's just we are not encouraged. We do our best. We gather cones, we gather tapes, we go around streets, we go around schools. We have been visiting schools. As at this time, I have visited 26 schools in Lagos to ensure that the school bus, it's okay for free. Yes, if they are seeing me, they know me. I come to your school, tell you do X, Y, Z for the sake of the children.
Exactly.
So we are doing more, and we're going to do more as we wait and expect that possibly from we talking out loud, some individuals will respond and support the child, because the child you support today is the adult you are going to gain from tomorrow.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Well said. On the last note, before I let you go, sir, again, we are going back to the issue of parents, because they are the first authority figures in the life of the children. So give a last word to parents as to their primary duty towards making sure that they inculcate the road safety and security consciousness into their own children.
Parenting has become very difficult these days. So when I want to talk to parents, I get scared because as a parent too, I noticed recently that I have not checked my children's books, school books, for 2 terms, and it's worrisome. I'm like, what? Why? You see, to attend to these children, to attend to extended family, to attend to one uncle, see, the burden on the parents is high, and because the burden is so high, some of us fathers now begin to look for work for our wives so they can support financially. So at the end of the day, daddy and mommy, they're on the street hustling. They want house help, cannot still work. So we now give the whole burden to the school.
Exactly.
Give the whole burden to the school. I told a parent came to the school one day. I was around there, and the parents was like, "Why would you beat my child?" Wait. When the woman finished talking, and now called and said, "Madam, if you can manage this child, why did you bring the child to school?
Exactly.
What the child did, can you manage it at home?" She said, "That's true." So that's why we put them. So let's encourage the teachers. So, but for the parents, these children, whether we like it or not, no matter how much school fees we are paying, the children are still ours.
Exactly.
If the children misbehave or fall less or fall low of any standard, They will not say the teacher did not do well. They say, which home did this child come from?
Exactly, that's the question.
So no matter how busy we are to fend for this family, let's create some little time to spend with them. In spending with them, we will underscore their excesses, we will underscore their errors, we will know at what point we can help them morally. And in helping them morally, we'll be able to set a safety standard. I told my daughter yesterday, I said, Mama, if you fall from that place and you wound yourself, is it good? She said no. Do you want them to put spirit that is peppery on your leg? She's 3 years old. She said no. So what will you do? He said, I will not jump around in the house again. I said, say it again. I will not jump around. She said it 5 times. After some 30-something minutes, she was about to jump. And I said, is jumping good? She said no. I started dancing with it. It was because I paid attention that little time.
Yes.
I paid attention. And we parents also, we should not see our children as being disturbing.
Yeah.
Most time we don't want to come home because their noise.
Or sometimes when the holiday
Their
is long.
noise. We'll still put them in summer class, morning class. I said
Anything to
no.
just
Let's give these children room, give ourselves room to see these children, because sometimes when you have time for your children, you will see yourself in your children.
Exactly.
So you will know how to manage them. My father told me one day, he said, you are complaining about this child? Say you are worse. Really?
Yes.
So I begin to see, how can I make this child correct the excesses in this child? That's why we are there. So for parents, when we have any important message from the school, let's evaluate these messages very well so that we can respond. When you tell parents, I want your child to join the road safety club in the school, you say, no, I don't like it. Let them go and join Indomie club. Let's go and join Social club where they can go and dance, where they can go and swim. No, let's encourage our children to join intellectual clubs where they can continue to gather knowledge. Thank you very much, parents.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lord Wilson. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Good to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
And that has been our conversation with Mr. S.A. Lord Wilson on the importance of inculcating safety and security consciousness in our children. Thank you for watching also. I hope you join me at this time next week on this show for yet another interesting discourse on the Lagos transportation agenda. Until then, stay safe, take care of yourself, and look out for others. Bye-bye and God bless.